Hello guys, and welcome to a new Bitcoin update video. Today we're going to discuss the low time frames and also talk a little bit about higher time frames and pretty much talk a little bit about what happened today. First and foremost, I said yesterday that if it looks sketchy today, I'm going to be careful. I'm going to stay away from sharing fixed setups, and that's exactly what I did, and I'm really happy that I didn't do that. I shared some zones. I'm looking for triggers, but for me it was just aggressive trading in today, just price action trading and nothing from blind zones or any blind trades, any limit, no limits whatsoever, just price action trading. And we even front run the first point of interest above, which was naked VWAP. So having a fixed setup there wouldn't work anyways, so that's just the way it is. I had a long, I closed the trade fully up here. I have a picture on BloFin if you don't believe me. On the 1 minute chart, the top candle, just because it was some weakness on the indicator, not based on trying to find the top or anything like that. But I didn't short from the top. I'm gonna explain how I shorted. So first of all, we had this range, got a little fake out below the range, pretty much sweeping this low, and after we reclaimed something up here, around here, the 10 a.m., then I got in for a long trade and targeted first and foremost this zone to look to reduce risk, but the momentum looked good, so I didn't reduce any risk, and I pretty much held the trade all the way up here. It wasn't a huge trade, but it was kind of an exposure trade. But looking at taking out the risk on days like this is never a dumb idea. So where did I short today? I pretty much started looking for shorts around here. When I saw this rejection, that's when I started to get in shorts, and pretty much looking to trade it the way down, first and foremost, just based on the momentum change. And already here, I'm looking to take profit, but I see this basically no reaction for the bulls. So I avoided taking profit, and I took profits around here. This is aggressive scalping. Please don't do as this if you haven't got any experience with it. And when we saw this bounce from the previous week into EMA20, adding more margin to the short, taking no profit here based on we took profits here, got this flush down, impulsive, already on this candle, took more profits, and after that I just let it run, and I closed the trade fully around the weekly level, so somewhere around there, at least somewhere in there, I can't remember 100%. But it was pretty much adding to the short, adding to winning trade, and taking profits gradually, because when you add to the trade, the entry doesn't become here when you add here, because the entry comes around here depending on where you add. So you can trade the trade, but still adding margin. So it's an extremely effective way of adding to good trades. This area was my first zone. I took a long scalp. I took out the risk around this EMA, and then I just held a runner. And that didn't give me anything on the first one. And this was pretty much naked VWAP trade. Got in another one, and it gave something at least. But I took out the risk pretty early, and all these trades hasn't pretty much been any major targets. This is pure scalping. It's not good ginormous trades either. It's smaller trades, smaller targets to get in something at least. But it's many more trades than I would have taken on main on with a 1% risk and so on. It's less trades, more frequency, and smaller targets. Pretty much to trade whatever the market gives. So I'm gonna get more into my scalping strategy with time. It's kind of complicated, but we're gonna get into it soon. And if you want to learn more about how I trade, link in the description to my group where I share setups, learning zone, everything. I'm gonna share very many learning posts this week in the group, so join if you want to get access to that. And also share trades pretty much all the time. We had 4 setups last week, 3 of 4 got hit, so after all that, around 4 or 5 hour profit after the loss, so that's pretty good. The only low time frame setup I have right now is pretty much reclaim this previous week for a bounce, or a little bit higher time frame, and potentially, if you're not, bearish retest to keep chopping and keep bleeding potentially. But that's my only zone of interest. That's a flip zone for me. These local lows, see that's a reclaim, it's a previous range low, and then the zones of interest could be this for the long reclaim and this. So triggers needed. Let's see how the price action develops. Let's look at the high time frame chart. Look at how that's looking. On the lick chart, call it lick chart, the liquidity upside zone reacted very well. And the first major lick zone to the downside is 62.2. After that we have 61.3, and that's pretty much it. So these two are my main, if you just look at the bigger time frames and just avoid all noise. And this is also a great zone based on the range value low as well. Looking at the range, we got a bounce from the range point control, which I expected yesterday, up to around near 500, but done 470 or something. Right now we must see a reclaim of this range point control, or we can potentially bleed. We have many untapped lows below, but the thing is, tomorrow is CPI. Last time the CPI got released, we got a big push on Bitcoin. And the same thing can happen, depends on the data. It can either go pretty much down or a good bit above. Pretty much a good push or a good dump. Time will tell how the data comes out. And also, of course, the most important thing, how the market reacts to the data release. If you need a place to trade, links are in the description for discounts. Tomorrow is CPI. Please don't FOMO trade. Please don't chase wicks, ginormous candles. Have a plan beforehand, follow that plan. If you need help to make a plan, send me a message. I'm gladly going to help you. Be patient. New video tomorrow. Bye.